My wife is not only my first love but also my only love. We have been together for a remarkable 25 years and have been married for 19 of those years. We are blessed with two wonderful children, aged 11 and 13, who have brought immense joy to our lives. As a 44-year-old male, I take pride in my high level of education, and I am financially successful. I also make it a point to maintain my physical fitness, which has become an integral part of my lifestyle. Despite my professional accomplishments, I have always maintained my social life, and my financial stability has put me in a position to retire comfortably. However, my career success has come at a cost, as I have worked grueling 80-plus-hour weeks for the past 2 decades and have had to endure extensive travel away from home. This clearly contributed to reasons for the love affair. It has been 10 weeks since the day of discovery, and it pains me to say that my personal life has been left in shambles. I have never experienced such a profound sense of depression before in my life, and it has left me feeling incapacitated. Each day, I find myself shedding tears and unable to concentrate on my work, leading to a neglect of my companies. In the past, I used to keep my feelings bottled up inside and never shared them with anyone. However, I decided to take a step forward and joined a men's support group, which has proven to be an excellent decision. Not only have I been able to express myself freely, but I've also gained a deeper understanding of my emotions. Moreover, I'm grateful to have a few close friends who I can lean on when times get tough. They've been a constant source of support and encouragement, and I'm lucky to have them in my life. To complement my emotional well-being, I've also been hitting the gym regularly, which has helped me release any pent-up emotions and improve my overall health. My wife and I have begun marriage counseling, which has been a transformative experience for both of us. It hasn't been an easy journey, especially since my wife has a fearful, avoidant attachment style and admires the independent traits of a dismissive avoidant. I've come to understand that my wife's love language is quality time. I neglected to offer acts of service and words of affirmation to my wife, which led her to seek them from someone else, a Spanish-speaking colleague of ours. This employee had worked closely with my wife for a year, and their relationship eventually turned into a full, emotional affair. During the early stages of the affair, I learned that my wife had developed a close bond with this recently married colleague who provided her with excitement and other experiences. My wife's affair partner and I couldn't be more different, and I made it clear that their relationship needed to be strictly professional. However, I was foolish to believe that things had truly ended after my wife attempted to break up with him and start anew. Unfortunately, I discovered that their emotional affair had resumed just a month later and had progressed into a physical one over the course of 5 months. Their relationship hit a rough patch when my wife had a health scare related to STI, which led to a fight and ultimately their breakup. Over a period of 18 months, my wife gradually distanced herself from her affair partner and attempted to transition their relationship back to a strictly professional one. By late 2021, the emotional affair had finally come to a complete end. I don't think my wife ever had any intention of leaving me. She was simply seeking some extra excitement, which unfortunately turned into an unwanted attraction. It wasn't until June 2022 that I started to uncover the details of what had happened. Following the discovery of the affair, I made the decision to terminate the employment of the affair partner. As far as I know, my wife no longer has any contact with him. I desire to make amends with my wife, and we have made progress in our relationship on a surface level, resulting in a peaceful and more loving household. We have become more intimate than we have been in several years. Yet, her continuous denial and deception regarding certain events make me question the authenticity of our progress. Trust is a cornerstone in both my personal and professional relationships, and I have no patience for those who are untrustworthy. I comprehend that everyone is fallible, and I acknowledge my flaws as a husband. To start anew, I composed a lengthy letter apologizing for my wrongdoings. Regrettably, my wife has not reciprocated with an apology. She maintains her innocence and asserts that I must improve myself. Although I can pardon our past transgressions, I find it challenging to overlook her ongoing deceit and concealment. Nonetheless, I am convinced that she is aware of her mistakes and desires to reconcile with me. She possesses an excessive amount of shame and self-preservation instincts to confess to her actions. It is possible that she rationalizes her behavior because she terminated the affair and underwent extensive self-therapy, leading her to believe that she is mentally stable. But it appears that she will continue to deceive me for the rest of our lives since she refuses to discuss the affair and the evidence I've uncovered. She adamantly declared this 7 weeks after Discovery Day. When she declared that she would never discuss the past again, I lost my composure and screamed through the phone, something I have never done before. It was a crushing blow to hear because learning about the affair was crucial for my healing process. I find it challenging to abandon my investigation and cease learning about the affair, as it has aided me in comprehending it better and safeguarding myself in the future. But I have stopped asking her questions since then, and it has left me feeling resentful. I am attempting to rekindle a seemingly joyful relationship with my wife. However, the growing resentment inside me is causing me to have intense urges to engage in revenge cheating. To manage these emotions, I am redirecting my energy towards my relationship with my wayward wife by organizing dates and weekend getaways. Even though I am aware of the importance of staying faithful, the thought of betrayal still lingers in my mind. I wonder if there is any possibility of long-term happiness without my wife confessing and demonstrating remorse for her actions. Update. At the discovery session in week 16, my soon-to-be ex-wife made a final confession after 14 weeks of deceit. It took a great deal of effort to get her to come clean. I had to threaten divorce, insist on intensive marriage counseling, and even have an emotional outburst where I called her affair partner's wife in front of her. As a result, she finally admitted to having sex 2 to 3 times per week. Our full-time handyman was employed by us for a total of 15 months, from February 2021 to May 2022. Supposedly, his affair with my wife took place mostly in the back seat of her SUV. However, she did not end the affair until after I discovered our notebook, which happened just one day before we embarked on a $25,000 trip to Paris with our family. It was only after our Paris trip that she finally broke up with the affair partner as a direct result of my discovery of her notebook. She claimed that the affair was already winding down, and she was relieved that it was over. According to her, she had tried to end it several times since it began, but lacked the courage. The affair was neither happy nor healthy for her. Yet she found herself strangely dependent on his emotional approval. The notebook revealed that the affair had been tumultuous for 2 years. It all started with an emotional affair that lasted for 2 years, from February 2019, before the sexual affair began, and lasted for 15 months. I find it hard to comprehend my wife's relationship with her affair partner. She explained that it was limerence and admitted to contemplating ending it for most of the 15 months. It was a constant source of drama. However, throughout this period, I was completely unaware that she also had intimacy with me too. And we led a typical married life when intimacy occurred from 1 to 3 times a week. We went on dates and spent vacations together. She was living a double life. It almost feels like she chose a second husband. It appears that my wife had been involved in the affair all along, but never disclosed it to me. She insisted that there were no other affairs and expressed a desire to reconcile. Upon her confession, I immediately reached out to the affair partner's wife and had a conversation with her, as suggested by the Reddit community. The affair partner's wife was devastated but relieved to know the truth. She plans to divorce him and fight his immigration process, and I am providing her with financial support, including covering the cost of counseling. My soon-to-be ex-wife is an expert liar and even passed a polygraph test. I would caution anyone considering using a polygraph as a tool to determine the truth, as it can easily backfire if the person being tested is a skilled liar. My wife, who had been lying to me for 14 weeks, used her expertise in deception to pass the polygraph test and continue to deceive me. Now that I know the truth and have observed her lack of genuine remorse during the 16 weeks that followed, I am ready to proceed with the divorce. Interestingly, she is now expressing profound regret and pleading with me to stay together. We have enrolled in an affair recovery course, which we hope will help us heal and forgive each other. We have 2 amazing children that we are committed to raising together. It has become apparent that my wife is incapable of loving me in the way that I loved her. Perhaps, due to some childhood trauma or a disorder, she is unable to express love in a healthy way. Tonight, I arranged for us to stay at a beach condo, which will be our first time being separated in our more than 20 years of marriage. During the day, we will continue to raise our children and act as normally as possible. However, it will take time for us to untangle our lives and move forward. Due to our complex financial situation, divorce is the best option for us. I'm not sure how to be alone yet, as my wife was not only my spouse, but also my best friend. After a 3-hour marriage counseling session today, I'm surprised at how good I feel, despite the mess we are in. I'm excited about the prospect of starting a new chapter in my life. If I were considering reconciliation, I don't think I would be experiencing these positive emotions. Our children have also started counseling, as they were familiar with the affair partner, who spent a considerable amount of time at our home and had developed a relationship with them, giving them gifts, etc. We have cut off all contact with him and are trying to eliminate any triggers that remind us of his presence in our lives. I am grateful to this community for the support it has given me, and I welcome any advice or words of encouragement.